Well, it's day 4 of this week, and we're on to 1 John chapter 2, chapter 24. See if you can translate it. How'd you do? Here's my translation. Y'all, what you heard from the beginning, it's kind of an odd thing. It's kind of like what you heard from the beginning, because the you's not necessary. It's kind of an added umph, but let's hold off to the next page. Y'all, what you heard from the beginning, let it remain in y'all. Let it remain in you. If in you it should remain, that is, what from the beginning you heard, also you will remain in the Son and in the Father. We've got some interesting forms today. A lot of what we've been having has been same old, same old, same old. We've got a little variety today. So let's dig a little deeper. So, y'all, this actually belongs with the you plural here. So you, what you heard from the beginning. We kind of have to stick a the in. I know there's no the there, but you can't go exactly from one language to the next. Sometimes you have to put thes when they're not there, and sometimes you have to take them out when they are. That's just the way it is. You've got to make good English. It's not a good translation if it's not good English. So like I said, the you goes with the you plural here. What you heard from the beginning. This is a relative pronoun, what, or that which. You could translate it that which. But the you is not needed because te has a you in it already. And so it's for emphasize. You, what you heard from the beginning, come on down, y'all. You know, what y'all heard, what you heard from the beginning, in you, let it remain. We have our first imperative, I think. No, we did have love not the world. Didn't we have that? Yeah, we had an imperative already. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Why are you watching this video? Go watch something else. Watch some cat videos. Okay, but anyway, so in you, what you heard from the beginning, let it remain in you. If in you it should remain, okay, this is conditional, obviously. It's the iffy if. It might not happen. It's a third-class condition. That is, what are we talking about here? What is the it? It should remain. That is, namely, what from the beginning you heard. If what you heard from the beginning should remain in you, if what from the beginning should remain in you, also y'all in the Son and in the Father will remain. Snuck in a little future tense there. Okay, well, what questions do you have? Email them to me or put them in the comments. As far as commentary is concerned, there has been this emphasis of continuity. We saw it in the first few verses of 1 John, that which was from the beginning, that which we have heard, that which we have touched, you know. So there's a sense of continuity. Probably, would you go with this, implying that the group that left them is not in continuity, that they are that John's group is in continuity with Jesus and that which was from the beginning. It's the group that's left that is not in continuity. They're the antichrists, the ones who have left. So we need to let remain in us what we had from the beginning. And if what we had from the beginning remains in us, then we are in the Son and in the Father. Okay. Now for the grammar. Some interesting grammar today, at least which we haven't seen before. So again, the you is not needed. It's for emphasis. It's a personal pronoun. I think we would call it a personal pronoun. We wouldn't call it an intensive pronoun probably, but it is emphatic. It's not necessary. This is, as I said, the relative pronoun. It is from hos, or hos, as the case may be. This is the neuter form. It's hos, he, ho. And so this is the neuter nominative or accusative. Remember, the nominative and accusative forms always look the same. This is accusative neuter singular, because the subject of this little relative clause is you. You heard what? And so this is serving as the object. So it's accusative. Okay, from the beginning is a prepositional phrase. So now this is interesting here. Meneto. This is a third person singular imperative. We don't have this in English, at least not in this way. The way a third person singular imperative translates is let him remain, let her remain, let it remain. And since we're talking about that which, it's a let it remain. So it's a basically a present, because all the letters of meno are there. Active, because that's an active ending. You don't have to know it, but I'll tell you it is. M is for imperative, because if I were to put I for imperative, you'd think it was I for indicative. So we use M for imperative. So it's PAM, present active imperative, third singular, which translates let it remain in you. Okay, this again, these are all plural U's. It's not, this is one of the problems with English, is that English no longer distinguishes between a you, Ken Schenk, and a you, y'all. But this is a y'all. Let it remain in you, plural. If in you it should remain, I already said that's a conditional. First class condition is assumes the truth of it with a, if you are the Son of God. The second class condition is the contrary to fact. If I were a rich man. The third class condition is the if it should remain in you. Now, it's not that he's expressing doubt. It's just contingent. It's not sure. It's not certain. Okay, now, how do we parse mene? Mene, call for help. Okay, so mene, this is actually meno. And you might be saying, well, if it's meno, where did the iota come from here? And I'm just sorry. I didn't invent this language, but the aorist of meno undergoes this internal lengthening, we say, and it becomes main. I'm sorry. And this is subjunctive. The vowel has been fried. Now I knew, because of the eon takes the subjunctive. Subjunctive is coming, subjunctive is coming. And so I knew there was going to be a subjunctive. So this is an aorist, it's active, it's subjunctive, it's third singular from meno. So the active endings o, ace, a, normally in the indicative it would be epsilon iota, but it gets fried in the subjunctive. Okay, so this is a hard parsing for most beginning Greek students, but you've been reminded, you've been put on notice from that which you heard from the beginning. Also let it remain, then also you are in the Son, you will remain in the Son and in the Father. Okay, here we have meno again. We've had 3 tenses of meno here. Let me talk about this before I show the answer. So what is te? Do you know? You should know te by now. What is te? That's right. It's a second person plural, a y'all, and it's an active ending. Okay, o, ace, a, amen, eta, usi. Those are active endings. So it is second person plural, active. Now, what is this epsilon iota stuff here? Well, I don't know any way around it except to say it's future. It's future, it's active. We knew it was active, indicative. I don't know, it's not really fried, so that's fine. Second plural, okay, great. How in the world is it future, you ask? Well, these are liquid verbs, okay? If the stem, so this is meno. And so if you take the omega off, it's the stem is men. And the nu is what's called a liquid consonant. And the reason it's a liquid is because there are 4 liquid consonants. Okay, these are the liquid consonants. And if a verb stem ends in one of those, it is called a liquid verb. Liquid verbs don't do sigmas. It's in their contract. When they signed up for Greek, they said, we will not do sigmas. And so you don't, back here, you don't get a sigma in the aorist. What about the sigma alpha? Sorry, it's not in my contract. And you don't get a sigma in the future here either. What? So how does a liquid verb make a future? Well, again, it's the strangest thing, but you learn not to ask these questions, or you just take a deep dive and you know all sorts of obscure things. But basically the way that liquid verbs make the future is they add an epsilon. I don't know why. And so meno added an epsilon to make it future. And then the epsilon crashed with the epsilon of the ending. The ending is ete. Well, epsilon is the connecting vowel. And so we had an epsilon and an epsilon. When epsilon and epsilons crash, you get an A. And there's a little police line to say, step back, there's been a crash here. And so this is future. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Liquid verbs add an epsilon to make it future, and then the epsilon crashes into whatever the ending is. Who invented this language? Okay, so it's you will remain. Okay, I'm moving on because you might throw things at me electronically. Okay, so I didn't come up with this language. So let's go ahead and pronounce the words. See if you can do it before I do it. Pause the tape. Pause the tape. Pause the tape. So humes, ho, acousite, aparcase, en, humin, meneto, an, en, humin, mene, ho, aparcase, acousite, kai, humes, en, to, huio, kai, en, to, patri, menete. Okay, now let me try to read it at normal speed. Humes, ho acousite aparcase, en humin meneto, an en humin mene, ho aparcase acousite, kai humes ento huio, kai ento patri menete. Anyway, I gave it a shot. We will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow for the final verse of Zavik.